in Hawaii, one of 4 black belts worldwide from Master Grappler Gene LaBelle, founder of J-Sec Jiu-Jitsu. He has a record of 6-0. He is 27 years old, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in tonight at 158 pounds, John Lewis.
Both very similar, 158 pounds. And John, this is our closest matchup in terms of weight in this competition.
This is an amazing match. I might say so myself. But they have to cut that tape down. It's gotten too high on John's hands. Carlson Gracie Sr. complained about it. And when the Gracies complain about something, you know, they don't want to win for the wrong reason. I don't think Lewis wants to win for the wrong reason either.
No, he's cutting some off, taping it up and making it a little strong. It doesn't look like they put an abundance of extra tape there.
He just got a little carried away, and that's fine. He can tape the wrists. The wrists are fine.
So he gets the 1 extra wrap and the handy work done in there by the referee, who has to do a little bit of everything.
Oh, he's a skilled guy, you know.
And we're set for the action now. Lewis and Gracie. Gracie in the maroon trunks and Lewis in the black. And this should be interesting to see how guys at the same weight will perform.
These guys can go.
And the leg kicks are underway.
This is going to go to the ground very, very quickly. Both these guys are very confident on the ground. See John Lewis sidestep there. That was very sweet.
They want to make sure that they can get the right situation on the ground, do it on their terms. And
there's the tackle. John Lewis got up again. That's probably the first time that's happened. And he rolled him almost.
Lewis able to neutralize after he was
Lewis
tackled.
Got an extremely good guard. Look at this. And a nice little shot to the face.
And we're seeing some of the quickness you expect from the lighter weights now.
Look at Lewis pound to the head from the guard.
Earlier we saw Tom Glanville try to win from the guard. He could not.
This is a whole different
animal. Better situation here, a much better guard. He's got the control.
Yeah, he's got the control, but, you know, Carlson Gracie, you know, is calming down now. You can see it. Oh, it's very dangerous to punch the head with an open hand, fist like that. Lewis trying to keep the guard, keep him away from him. See that?
And he got slapped.
Big right hand. Oh, but he tried to get them out. Lewis gets away again. Lewis goes down.
We're seeing
an amazing fight.
We're seeing our best technical execution of the entire night.
Gracie's on the back where they want to be, and John Lewis just playing the game.
And taunting him.
Look at this. Yes, he is. He's being dominant. Now, don't forget, Carlson's in a dominant position. You know? Carlson looks calm.
Lewis trying to work on his head. 2 minutes and 28 seconds is our longest.
Whoa, nice move around the outside for John Lewis. Let's see what's going to happen here. He's trying to get a knee lock on him. John Lewis is very strong for his size. Pretty amazing counter. John going up and around. See the legs always between them. That's the use of the guard. Carlson knows what he's doing. Big right hand lands from the outside.
And Lewis trying to take away that guard position of Gracie by landing from the outside and showing total respect there. He's up. He does not want to have...
John with a big stop to the face. Oh, almost got mounted, though. You got to be very careful now. He's getting suckered into the game.
Yes. So is Gracie getting Lewis into his game?
Yes,
here?
Absolutely. He's got ready for a double. It's not that John doesn't know what he's doing, though. You know, a couple of little elbows. Those are just taps. He doesn't care. Father's talking to him. You see that?
We have our longest
trying to turn his head
of the night, as these guys have done a lot here.
Oh, he almost went behind him. Be very careful you don't go behind him. See him hold the fence.
And we're seeing strategies and counter strategies here. We're seeing strategies that have been broken.
This is such a great fight. I'm stepping on your words.
We're seeing people that have had to regroup and try different plans of attack, and they know what to do.
Now you see them calming down. They're both regrouping. John Lewis complaining about his mouthpiece. He wanted to throw it away. Oh, you see Carlson trying to go behind John Lewis there.
He tried hard to do that. Lewis did not let it happen. Knew
It was
exactly
very close.
what was going on.
It was very close.
But Gracie will try this again and again, and the thought being that one of these times it will work.
It's our longest fight so far.
Yeah, by a minute.
This is a technical fight.
And this is what happens with guys at the same weight, same quickness, identical skills, and both extremely skilled in the moves and counter moves of this profession.
Nice try for the headbutt. John Lewis with 2 little uppercuts, just trying to stop him from going behind. This is a very technical fight. Wonder when Carlson will make his next move to get behind him.
Is there enough room for him here to do something with Lewis' trap?
He's trying to go under the leg. You see the left leg of Lewis stopping him from rotating around to his right. But that's all he has to beat is that right leg. Lewis is an incredibly strong person.
And he is showing it here.
Oh, nice knee try. Oh, John gets suckered into the right hand. That was a very, very bad move. But he turns and gets straightened out again. But yeah, he got suckered into throwing the punch, and he went under him.
It's almost like we started over again here as we approach the 5-minute mark.
Well, this fight's going to go a lot longer than that. This fight will go to overtime, probably. Got to be careful of the knees of Carlson Gracie from this position. Lewis trying to get his wind. You can see he's having a tough time breathing already. Whoa, he tried to make the move again to go behind.
And Lewis utilizing the top of the cage here. It's the first time we've seen that.
Totally allowed to do that. Absolutely allowed to do that.
We haven't seen it as a strategy up till now, but there's a guy that knows everything and how to do it here.
Look at the muscularity on Mr. Lewis.
Now, is Gracie centering his weight properly here?
Yes, very properly. He's trying to go behind. He's already got his head behind. It's only the arm that holds him. He's trying to step on his toes to keep his mount.
Now, what is Lewis waiting for here?
No, Lewis is just trying to get his wind and keep position. Now, you watch Gracie try to break his toes. John Lewis is going to get tired doing that. No, there's no problems here. But we have to see the way Carlson, is trying to dig a little hole behind. You're looking at the greatest Brazilian here. John Lewis is doing an amazing job. He's proving himself already.
Well, he's been able to neutralize certain moves by the Gracie up to the 6-minute mark of this contest here.
Sometimes there's just no need to talk. Trying the takedown again.
Well, they're plotting their strategies here, and now Lewis is out. Is he all the way out?
No, he's not. He's in exactly the same position because Carlson wants him in that position.
I'm surprised we have seen very little on the ground in this fight.
Yeah, John Lewis has to keep his left hand down because he's going to try to go under his arm.
And a good look at Gracie.
Looks like Lewis better start picking it up in a minute. Oh, he's going to go to guard. That would be a big mistake. From the stand-up to guard would be a very big mistake from this point. He's watching that head. He throws a couple of right hands in, but he really wants to do something with that head, but he knows if he uses his left hand, Carlson will go behind.
Oh, he's trying to pound the back there now.
Oh, big headbutt, and he's just so aware. Did you see that?
Yes.
Shifts over, doesn't let the head hit him.
Halfway through the scheduled bout, we've reached the milestone as the fighters are trying to get it together here.
Now you hear the Carlson Gracie team talking to him, trying to little groin attack. Lewis going to make a move here. Oh, nice headbutt.
Try by Gracie.
Great headbutt. John's nice and calm though. Oh, Carlson is really trying to get behind this boy. He knows he has to get behind him. He can't take his foot off the ground or he'll lose base.
Right.
Ooh, beautiful headbutt. Just grazing.
Lewis trying to do it from a defensive posture here. Tough way to fight.
Just kind of looking at him. He knows where he wants to go. He's keeping the hook on.
He has made it as we approach 9 minutes here.
Nice headbutt. The headbutt seems to be the best tactical weapon for Carlson now. He's got an arm under. He could get behind now.
Keep on, John. Safety.
Now, if we get to the 5-minute mark, as we start to think about overtime, is Lewis playing for overtime here?
Absolutely not. Lewis is trying to stop the progression of Carlson Gracie to behind him.
So he'll try to do that here.
See the way he's burrowing under his arm? He wants the back. Oh, big bang on the foot. When you see John Lewis move like that, you know that he knows where he's got to go. Carlson just trying to burrow under. John Lewis, 2 big right hands, one off the ear. That ear's been punched before. That's no problem. John Lewis with a single leg grape to hold the man in position and a nice piece of fence. Now remember, when we get down to 4 minutes and 51 now, we will go to overtime. They will separate these fighters, and we will start again for 5 minutes. This is the World Championship Battlecade Extreme Fighting. Carlson Gracie with a move. He's got John's base off the ground. Very dangerous. John tries a cross face lock and reclaims his guard. Tries to break his leg again. Nothing is happening on the toes. Another right hand from John. He winced that time. 4 minutes and 22 seconds. What a terrific strategy fight from 2 amazing athletes. The king of Brazil and probably the king of Las Vegas. He's trying to torque his neck a little bit more. Look at that position. Look at that position. Just so intent on getting behind him.
2 guys in one position holding it for this long.
And we know all about that. It's hard to hold things, especially heads, especially arms. Dave, I can't explain to you the exhaustion of these guys right now. They are at muscular fatigue levels that you know, you and I don't see.
No, they have really been going at it in basically a grudge match of attrition here. You look at the feet stepping on the toes. Gracie trying to get a different position here as we approach overtime. Now, what is each guy trying to do here, John?
This hasn't changed the strategy. John working for distraction and position. Carlson Gracie trying to get the back. He is up eventually. Oh, great move. Tries to make a takedown. Carlson failed on that move.
Somebody had to gamble.
John has to watch his arms now. Carlson is trying to get away. He's trying to break his leg.
Is there enough time still?
Oh, beautiful counter. John Lewis.
But Lewis pulling Gracie
trying to break the knee. He's going to throw a left hand, I think.
Some of the most...
Pulls out. Oh, ankle's in jeopardy. Ankle's in jeopardy. He pushes it down. His ankle, his knee is in jeopardy too.
Oh,
John Lewis with a tactical move off the fence. We haven't seen that in extreme fighting. Back again.
The crowd does not like that. They realized that Lewis had a chance for the finish.
No, Carlson was actually working very hard there to finish John. That's why he gave up the fence.
Now, after that, when Lewis took a shot, was trying for it, fans thought he was in a good position. Did not work out for him there.
No, it did not.
But 2 minutes to go here now as they wind down.
1:59, you're right. As I glance at the clock, we still have that burrowing Gracie.
Well, this has certainly been the most intriguing and fascinating matchup as far as moves, counter moves, what each guy does to try to negate the other. You get the feeling these guys looked at at films of each other before they went at it because they knew their opponent.
Yeah, I don't think they have, actually, but, you know, don't forget who we're looking at in here. We're looking at an extreme underdog of John Lewis against the 10-time Brazilian national champion.
And a match that has developed as advertised.
Beautiful headbutt. Boy, Carlson can use his head, can he?
He did.
In more ways than one. Carlson is preparing to make a strategy move again, and he doesn't know that there's only 1 minute left, though.
And it's hard to get a sense. People may be screaming that to him in the corner if they had any idea. Hard to get a sense of how much time would be left, and now, but his back is to the people who are telling him there's a minute.
Right. They're speaking Portuguese. John Lewis doesn't know what the hell they're saying.
Well, folks, we have seen some short ones. We've seen some bouts under a minute. And the first fight that exceeded 2 minutes and 28 seconds did so in grandiose fashion as we are flirting with overtime.
Let me tell you something. If this bout goes any more difficult for Carlson Gracie, this will be a huge, huge upset for Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Well, overtime a certainty.
We are in overtime.
What are the rules here, John?
Well, we have 5 minutes extra for overtime. Hey, but these guys have a 1 minute rest period now, and that's going to go very fast. I can't see a clock, but I know it's ticking away.
And when you're resting, that clock always seems to go very fast. Would there be any strategy change in overtime? Both guys knowing that there's only 5 minutes left instead of 15. Do they try to open up more? Or do they settle? Do they stay with their game plan and settle for the draw if they have to?
No. Neither of the guys are going to settle for a draw.
So what happens strategy-wise then with the 5 minutes now that they know that the time is almost over?
More aggression. More and more aggression. Dominance of technique.
Would we be apt to see the possibility of gambling a little bit more in overtime?
What are you doing?
As we've gotten to the 2 minute mark now, approximately of rest period, combatants will gladly take that, and we start the last 5.
There's a little oversight on the timekeeper's part there. He's all wet. Carlson's all wet.
As they go back with 5 minutes to go.
Little kicking demonstration here.
So they go out of here with 4:35 left in overtime. And we believe that first session was about 14 seconds shy of 15 minutes according to the clock, but still quite a bit of action with these two guys. And now right in front of us, they do the same thing that was going on earlier. Now, John, we've got 4 minutes left. If this thing doesn't end, we have a draw.
Yeah, I'm just watching these guys from the back here, and this is just a horrifying fight. I mean, Carlson Gracie just trying to go under him, and John Lewis just being very strong and stubborn about it.
So if this goes all the way, they settle it for a draw. What happens then, John?
They split the purse, and they come back on extreme, fighting too.
They would have a score to settle.
But a draw for the Carlson Gracie team is unprecedented.
Well, we're coming close to that now. And again, John, it's worth repeating at times during this long fight what each guy wants to do here. We've talked about it a couple times with 3 minutes to go. Again, what do you think each guy is looking to do here, and who's doing it better?
You know, I can't tell. This is such an amazing stalemate, but the Brazilians seem to be just screaming and imploring him to go behind, I think. They're trying to get him to turn, and they're trying to get him moved. And John Lewis is trying to get a better strategy and position here. Carlson stomping on the feet again, and Lewis just kind of calm up there, throwing some nice right hands. Maybe they're taking effect. Saw a little shake that time.
It is a little surprising to see fighters.
John Lewis isn't holding the ring anymore. It could be a move for Carlson Gracie.
You know he'll pick up on that immediately.
At 223 seconds, you know, if he lets go of that ring, which he is now, it could be a big problem for him. Now, Carlson is such a great fighter that, you know, he understands exactly where he is all the time.
I am a little surprised that neither fighter made a radical change from this after realizing that each one effectively was able to neutralize the other, as we have now gone past 18 minutes of this match.
You know, Carlson Gracie is just such a great practitioner here, and he's really pushing on John Lewis, and he's actually dominating the fight.
But with no points and no way to be awarded a victory unless it's the usual route. Gracie is running out of time and is staring at a draw.
And that's it. History has been made.
Wow.
Carlson Gracie team has stopped. We have a draw.
You have been in this business for a long time. You followed the Gracie family.
I have
How
never...
monstrous is this?
Oh, this is the cataclysmic. I mean, the Gracies just can't believe it. These guys represent themselves. These guys represent themselves, you know, in a way that is just amazing.
And the crowd hamming it up for these guys who basically were able to take the strength of the other away to a point at least where we saw endurance. Now, some of these matches in the past, John, an hour and a half, you said, in the Brazilian matches, and this had the look of something that could have gone for quite a long time, even more.
He's welcome.
He's a pro.
Penthouse Centerfold, Miss September 1993, Andy Sue Irwin.
Well, as we said earlier, John, a good time to be speechless. Fans love the girls. Certainly added an element of pageantry here.
My God, she's walking around like she's already won this.